The sun-kissed streets of Miami seemed to whisper sweet nothings as Ty Jackson stepped out of his sports car, the scent of freshly cut grass and saltwater air filling his lungs. It was a far cry from the bright lights and endless crowds of the NFL stadium he once called home. The sound of children's laughter and chirping birds replaced the roar of the crowd, a gentle reminder that life had moved on without him. Ty's eyes scanned the horizon, searching for a sense of purpose in this new chapter of his life. His football career, once the defining force of his existence, now lay in tatters. A series of injuries and setbacks had finally caught up with him, leaving him unable to continue playing at the professional level. The thought sent a pang of regret coursing through his veins. Just as Ty was starting to lose hope, he spotted Sophia, her raven hair tied back in a sleek ponytail, her bright smile lighting up the sidewalk like a beacon. She was perched on the edge of a park bench, her eyes fixed intently on the folder in her hands. Ty's heart skipped a beat as she looked up, their gazes locking like two magnets drawn together. He felt an inexplicable sense of calm wash over him, as if Sophia had somehow seen into his soul and was offering him a second chance at redemption. "Hi," she said, her voice husky and confident. "I'm Sophia, your physical therapist." Ty's eyes narrowed, intrigued by the spark of electricity that crackled between them. "Ty Jackson," he replied, extending his hand in greeting. As they shook hands, Ty couldn't help but notice the way Sophia's fingers wrapped around his palm, her touch sending shivers down his spine. It was as if she'd awakened a part of him that had long been dormant, the part that still believed in love, in second chances, and in the possibility of relearning how to fall. Their sessions began with awkwardness and uncertainty, Ty struggling to come to terms with his new reality. Sophia, however, remained steadfast, her compassion and empathy slowly chipping away at the walls he'd built around himself. As the days turned into weeks, Ty found himself opening up to her in ways he never thought possible, sharing stories of his past, of his fears and doubts, and of his deepest desires. Sophia listened intently, her eyes sparkling with understanding, as she guided him through a series of exercises designed to help him regain strength and mobility. But it was more than just physical therapy that was happening between them. It was a dance of trust, of vulnerability, and of rediscovery, a second chance at love, if only he dared to take the leap. As the sun dipped below the horizon on one fateful evening, Ty found himself standing outside Sophia's apartment, his heart pounding in his chest like a drumline. He took a deep breath, feeling the weight of his past mistakes and fears begin to lift, replaced by an overwhelming sense of hope and possibility. Sophia opened the door, her smile radiant as she beckoned him inside. Ty stepped forward, their bodies almost touching as they stood there, suspended in the moment. And then, like a gentle whisper on the wind, Sophia's lips touched his, sending shivers down his spine. It was as if time had stopped, the world around them melting away to reveal only the two of them. Lost souls, finding each other in the most unexpected way. As they broke apart for air, Ty knew that he'd found something truly special in Sophia, a love that was strong enough to overcome even the toughest of obstacles. It was a second chance at redemption, a reminder that life is full of surprises, and that sometimes all it takes is one person to help you relearn how to fall. And so our tale comes to an end, with Ty and Sophia standing together, hand in hand, ready to face whatever the future may hold. For in the world of second chances, love knows no bounds, not even those of injury or heartache. As the days turned into weeks, Ty and Sophia's relationship continued to blossom. They spent countless hours together, exploring the city, trying new restaurants, and laughing until their sides ached. Ty found himself opening up to Sophia in ways he never thought possible. He shared stories about his past, about his fears and doubts, and about his deepest desires. And Sophia listened with compassion and empathy, offering words of encouragement and support whenever he needed it. As the weeks turned into months, Ty began to realize that he was falling deeply in love with Sophia. It was a feeling he hadn't experienced since high school, when he first fell for the quarterback's daughter. But this time, it was different. This time, it felt real. One evening, as they were walking along the beach, Sophia turned to Ty and said, "I have something important to ask you." Ty's heart skipped a beat. He knew what was coming, and he was ready. "What is it?" he asked, his voice low and husky. Sophia took a deep breath before speaking. "I know that we've only been together for a few months, but I feel like we have something special, and I want to make sure that we're on the same page." Ty's heart was racing now. He knew what she was getting at, and he loved her for it. "What do you mean?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Sophia smiled, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "I mean that I love you, Ty, and I want to spend the rest of my life making memories with you." Ty's heart soared. He had been waiting for this moment for what felt like an eternity, and now that it was here, he knew exactly how he wanted to respond. "Sophia," he said, his voice trembling with emotion, "I love you too, and I want to spend the rest of my life making memories with you." And then, as if on cue, the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm golden glow over the beach. Ty and Sophia stood there hand in hand, their hearts beating as one. They kissed under the stars, their love shining bright like a beacon in the night. And as they pulled away, gasping for air, Ty knew that he had found his forever home, not just with Sophia, but within himself. As the years passed, Ty and Sophia built a life together that was full of laughter, adventure, and love. They traveled the world, explored new hobbies, and started a family of their own. And through it all, they never forgot the lessons they learned on that beach, standing hand in hand, ready to face whatever the future may hold. For Ty, the second chance at love had been a game changer. It had given him a newfound appreciation for life, for relationships, and for the human connection. And he knew that no matter what lay ahead, he would always have Sophia by his side, a partner in every sense of the word. As the sun set over the rolling hills of Tuscany, Ty and Sophia found themselves standing at the edge of a vineyard, surrounded by rows upon rows of lush green vines. They had spent the day exploring the countryside, hand in hand, taking in the breathtaking views and savoring each other's company. As they gazed out at the sunset-kissed landscape, Ty turned to Sophia with a mischievous glint in his eye. "I have an idea," he whispered, his voice low and husky. Sophia raised an eyebrow, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. "What is it?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Ty grinned, his eyes crinkling at the corners. "Let's take a walk through the vineyard. It's getting late, but I promise you'll love this." Sophia nodded, and they set off into the vines, their footsteps quiet on the soft earth. As they walked, the air grew thick with the scent of ripening grapes, and the sounds of crickets and rustling leaves filled the air. Ty led Sophia to a small clearing, surrounded by ancient oak trees that stretched towards the sky like nature's own cathedral. In the center of the clearing stood an old stone fountain, its waters trickling softly into a tiny pool. Sophia gasped in wonder as Ty swept her into his arms, his lips crashing down on hers with a passionate intensity. The world around them melted away, leaving only the two of them, lost in each other's eyes. As they kissed, the stars began to twinkle above, casting a silver glow over the clearing. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers, and the sound of crickets grew louder, as if singing along to their love song. Ty and Sophia stood there for what felt like an eternity, lost in each other's embrace. And when they finally broke apart, gasping for air, they smiled at each other, knowing that this was a moment they would cherish forever. As they gazed up at the starry sky, Ty whispered, "I love you, Sophia." Sophia's eyes shone like diamonds in the moonlight. "I love you too, Ty," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. And with that, they sealed their love with another kiss, under the watchful gaze of the ancient oak trees and the twinkling stars above. As the night wore on, Ty and Sophia lay entwined in each other's arms, basking in the warmth of their love. They knew that this was a second chance at true love, one that they would cherish for all eternity. And as they drifted off to sleep, surrounded by the beauty of nature, they knew that their love story would forever be etched in the stars. The end.